Have you ever wondered why, despite eating carefully and exercising regularly, your legs still seem to be getting weaker, stairs seem higher, and getting up from a chair suddenly feels more difficult than before? Is this just a sign of aging, or is there a silent culprit slowly destroying the strength of your legs? If you're over 60, listen closely, because what I'm about to share could completely change the way you view your health. Just one small mistake in your diet, especially with fruits you believe to be healthy, might be weakening your legs day by day. Don't overlook this article, because if you're unaware of these facts, the risk of joint pain, swelling, or even losing your ability to walk freely could increase significantly. Today, I'm going to reveal 7 types of fruit that people over 60 should avoid if they want to keep their legs strong, flexible, and pain-free. These fruits are often praised for being good for health, but for an aging body, they can become silent enemies. I will explain each one simply and clearly, so you understand why they're harmful and how to replace them with better options. If you care about your health, keep reading and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. Are you ready? Let's get started. Imagine holding a fragrant pineapple, its juice dripping with every bite. Pineapple, also known as Tom, has long been considered the king of tropical fruits. It contains bromelain, an enzyme praised for its anti-inflammatory properties, said to help reduce joint pain. Sounds great, right? But here's the troubling truth. For those over 60, pineapple can be a silent destroyer. Why? Pineapple contains high levels of natural sugar and acid. When you eat pineapple, the sugar causes a spike in your blood sugar levels. In your younger years, your body could handle this. But after 60, your blood vessels become more fragile, making them more vulnerable to these blood sugar surges. The result? Reduced blood circulation to your legs, leading to aches, fatigue, and a heavy feeling with every step you take. It doesn't stop there. The acid in pineapple can worsen arthritis, especially if you already suffer from knee or ankle pain. Try to recall, have you ever felt your knee joint stiffen or ache after eating a bowl of fresh pineapple? It's not a coincidence. This acid adds fuel to the fire of inflammation in your body, making each step more difficult. What's more, if you're on medication, especially blood thinners, the bromelain in pineapple can interact with the medication and reduce its effectiveness. The scariest part? The effects of pineapple don't show up immediately. They build up gradually until one day you realize you can't walk as far as you used to, or feel persistent pain in your calves. So, if you love pineapple, consider eating it less, especially if you've noticed your legs weakening or swelling for no apparent reason. Next, let's talk about a fruit that everyone loves: bananas. Bananas are soft, sweet, and considered the muscle's best friend due to their high potassium content, which helps prevent cramps and boosts energy. But for those over 60, bananas might not be as friendly as you think. Bananas contain a lot of natural sugar and fast-digesting carbohydrates, causing a sudden spike in blood sugar right after eating. At this age, your body has a harder time regulating insulin effectively, leading to chronic inflammation and reduced blood circulation. The result? You might feel heavy legs after meals, experience pain climbing stairs, or notice muscle stiffness in the morning. Moreover, bananas can cause water retention, especially if you have heart problems. This leads to swollen ankles, stiff joints, and discomfort when moving. Imagine eating a banana every day thinking it's good for your muscles, but instead, it's quietly weakening your legs. This effect doesn't show up immediately. It builds up gradually, silently, until you realize you're no longer walking as lightly as you once did. If you frequently feel leg pain or swelling after eating bananas, consider cutting back on them. Don't worry, I'll share some great fruit alternatives later, so keep watching the video. Now, let's move on to a small fruit packed with potential risks: grapes. Grapes look so tempting, don't they? These juicy, bite-sized fruits are often advertised as good for the heart due to their antioxidant content. But here's something most people don't know. Grapes can cause inflammation and joint pain in older adults. The culprit is fructose, a type of sugar that's absorbed directly by the liver. When the liver can't process it all, fructose turns into uric acid, which then builds up in the joints, especially in the toes, knees, and ankles. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with sharp pain in your big toe, or felt your knee stiffen after a normal day? That might be a sign of grapes. The fructose in grapes also increases chronic inflammation, making it harder to move and causing more joint pain. What makes grapes dangerous is how easy they are to eat. You could finish an entire bunch without realizing how much sugar has accumulated. So, if you regularly eat grapes and notice your legs swelling or aching, try cutting back and see if you notice any changes. Don't worry, there are plenty of other fruits that are safe and even better for your legs. Keep reading to discover the next fruit, a deceiver that everyone thinks is harmless. Are you eating a seemingly harmless fruit that's quietly destroying the strength of your legs? If you're over 60, keep listening because I'm revealing 7 fruits that older adults should avoid to protect their legs from pain, swelling, and muscle weakness. In the previous sections, we discussed pineapple, bananas, and grapes, common fruits that can actually harm an aging body. Now, let's dive into the next fruit, a summer favorite that nearly everyone loves, but is actually a sweet trap for your legs. The 4th fruit on the list is watermelon. Just thinking about watermelon might bring to mind juicy, refreshing slices, like a natural drink on a hot summer day. Watermelon is praised for being low in calories and high in water, helping to hydrate the body. But here's the surprising truth. Watermelon has an extremely high glycemic index, similar to that of a candy bar. When you eat watermelon, your blood sugar spikes almost immediately. In your younger years, your body could handle this. But after 60, these blood sugar spikes trigger inflammation, particularly in areas with poor circulation, such as the calves, ankles, and knees. Imagine this. You eat a few pieces of watermelon to cool off, but instead of feeling light and refreshed, you begin to notice tired legs, slight swelling in your ankles, or aching when you walk. That's because insulin in your body isn't working as efficiently anymore, leading to inflammation and damaging small blood vessels in your legs. The danger is that watermelon is so easy to eat. One slice turns into 2, then 3, and before you know it, you've consumed a large amount of sugar. Your body doesn't view watermelon as water. It sees it as a blood sugar attack. If you regularly eat watermelon and notice your legs weakening or swelling, consider cutting back. But don't worry, I'll share some great alternatives later on. Next, let's talk about oranges, the fruit closely associated with health and vitamin C. Oranges are everywhere, from morning juices to supplements. Who doesn't think that a glass of fresh orange juice every day is the secret to good health? But for those over 60, oranges can be an acid attack on your joints. Oranges contain citric acid, which sounds harmless, but it can irritate the joint tissues, especially if you already suffer from arthritis or chronic pain. Try to recall, have you ever felt your knees stiffen after drinking a large glass of orange juice? Or experienced dull hip pain after sitting for a long time? That might be a sign of oranges. Citric acid from oranges doesn't just stay in the stomach. It enters the bloodstream and exacerbates inflammation in the body. Combined with the natural sugars in oranges, it leads to blood sugar spikes, damaging blood vessels and making each step feel heavier. In your younger years, your body might overlook these effects, but as you age, your joints become weaker, blood circulation slows, and oranges can become an enemy. Sadly, you might be drinking orange juice every day thinking it's good for you, but in reality, it's quietly harming your legs. If you love oranges, try swapping them for a fruit that's lower in acid. I'll reveal one shortly. Now, let's talk about a fruit that many people think is a safe choice: green apples. Green apples have a mild tartness and are less sweet, so they are often seen as a healthy fruit for older adults. But don't let their clean, fresh appearance fool you. Green apples contain malic acid, the acid responsible for their distinctive tart flavor. In younger people, this acid can aid digestion, but for those over 60, it can irritate the stomach and joints. When malic acid builds up in the body, it increases inflammation, leading to hip pain, thigh aches, or a burning sensation in the feet. Not to mention, even though green apples are less sweet than red apples, they still contain natural sugars, enough to cause small blood sugar spikes in those with slower metabolisms. You might experience leg cramps at night, stiff joints in the morning, or fatigue when climbing stairs. The danger is that green apples are often eaten as a snack, sometimes right before bed, causing the body to endure this effect continuously. If you regularly eat green apples and notice your legs weakening, try reducing your intake and observe any changes. Don't worry, there are still plenty of great fruit alternatives that I'll reveal at the end. Are you unknowingly eating a fruit that weakens your legs every day? If you're over 60, keep listening because I'm revealing the final fruit in the list of 7 to avoid. along with some alternatives to keep your legs strong and flexible. In the previous sections, we discussed watermelon, oranges, and green apples, fruits that may seem harmless but can actually cause inflammation, joint pain, and leg swelling. Now, let's explore the final fruit, a sugar bomb, that many people love, but is extremely dangerous for older adults. The seventh fruit is mango, a symbol of summer with its rich sweetness, softness, and delicious flavor. Who doesn't love a ripe, juicy mango? But for those over 60, mangoes might just be the most dangerous fruit on this list. Mangoes contain an enormous amount of natural sugar, causing a strong blood sugar spike just minutes after eating. In younger years, your body can handle this, but once you're over 60, metabolism slows down, insulin becomes less effective, and each blood sugar spike triggers deep inflammation in the joints, especially in the hips, knees, and ankles. Imagine this. You eat a mango thinking it's a natural dessert, but shortly after, you feel heavy legs, burning toes, or swollen ankles by the evening. That's because the sugar in mangoes causes inflammation and damages the nerves, especially if you have circulation issues. The danger is that mangoes are so delicious, it's easy to eat more than necessary. One slice leads to 2, then 3, and before you know it, you've consumed a massive amount of sugar. If you regularly eat mangoes and notice your legs weakening, try cutting back and replacing them with a safer fruit. Now that you know the 7 fruits to avoid, pineapple, bananas, grapes, watermelon, oranges, green apples, and mangoes, all of which share one thing in common. They contain sugars, acids, or inflammatory compounds that can damage blood vessels, joints, and muscles in those over 60. But don't worry, the good news is that there are fruits that are not only safe, but can actually help strengthen your legs, reduce pain, and improve blood circulation. Let's explore these great alternatives. First, let's talk about berries, such as blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries. These tiny fruits are superheroes for older adults. They're low in sugar, packed with antioxidants, and help reduce inflammation and improve blood flow to the legs. You can eat a handful of berries every day to reduce swelling, boost flexibility, and make each step feel lighter. Next, there are cherries, but eat them in moderation. Cherries help lower uric acid, prevent joint pain, and ease gout. A handful of cherries each day can soothe the burning sensation in your knees or toes. Avocados are also a great choice. Yes, avocados are a fruit, and they contain healthy fats that help reduce inflammation, protect joints, and stabilize blood sugar. Add some avocado to your breakfast, or mix it into a salad to feel the difference. If you're looking for an easily digestible fruit, try papaya. Papaya contains anti-inflammatory enzymes that are gentle on the stomach and joints. Finally, pears are the perfect option for those who want a bit of sweetness without the harm. Pears provide steady energy without causing a sudden spike in blood sugar and keep your legs feeling light. As you can see, not all fruits are enemies. The key is choosing the right ones that fit your aging body. When you begin to eat mindfully and choose fruits like berries, cherries, avocados, papayas, and pears, you'll notice a difference. Steadier steps, less pain, and more energy in the morning. Don't let the wrong fruits take away your freedom to move. You can still enjoy a healthy and vibrant old age with just a small change in your diet. I'd love to hear from you. What have you learned from this article? What changes will you make to your eating habits? Please share in the comments below, as your story might inspire others. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to share it with your loved ones and friends. And stay tuned for more health tips specifically for those over 60. Thank you for reading, wishing you good health, and I look forward to seeing you in future posts.